I'm going to preview the Baylor versus Houston women's soccer game, which will be played on September 22nd at 1 p.m. Central Time on ESPN+. There will be live stats as well, and it's coming off of a loss for Baylor, 1-0 against Arizona. It does hurt the RPI, and I'll go over that going forward. Right after this game, I'll definitely go over RPI, where Baylor is in the previews here, just to let y'all know. Of course, I don't know if it's going to change that much, if any, once the game is completed, but I'm still going to make a note of it. And Baylor's now 5-4-1 in the season. And I know prior to this game, Baylor had an RPI of 36. I expected to go down some into like somewhere in the 40s, I would think. Because Arizona was number 59 in RPI. And now Baylor's 0-2 in the Big 12 with one goal losses to Oklahoma State and Arizona. Oklahoma State, I totally get, they're top 25 team. In fact, what's crazy is they just lost their first match of the year to Colorado 2-1 in Stillwater. So now Houston, on the other hand, they're 0-2 in the conference themselves and 3-4-1 in overall, with losses to UCF 5-0 and Arizona State 2-0. What are some players to keep an eye on for Houston? I'll put that in the description below on the outlook on them, as well as like the roster, because I'm not going to mention every single player. And you could tell what formations they use based on the outlook, and if you want to go game by game, you could do that too. Of course, like the starting goalie for them is Olivia Dietrich, number 1, 5'8" goalie. That's a sophomore. 14 goals allowed and 48 saves. Okay, Arena Jemison, number 7, 5'3" midfielder. That is a sophomore. 2 goals on 20 shots attempted and 1 assist. And I do not know the injury status for Houston. I don't. And there's Juliet Moore, number 10, 5'6" midfielder. That's a senior. 3 goals on 10 shots attempted. Okay, the only next player I'm going to really go over is because of the assist numbers, and that's Anna Reza, number 16, 5'4" defender. That's a senior. 12 shots attempted and 2 assists. Okay, they do have Cameron Maddox, number 26, 5'3" forward. That's a junior. 1 goal and 20 shots attempted. That's the only reason why I went over that. And Ramsey Davis, number 3, 5'9" forward. That's a senior. So 1 goal and 4 shots attempted. Let me check if there's anything else. Nope. Nothing notable. And I will say, there in that last game for Baylor against Arizona, I don't know whether or not the ball really crossed the line when Baylor tried to shoot that ball on one time. And you know that one play I'm talking about. Just go back and watch. I can't tell from where I was at. I couldn't tell. So it is what it is. You got to adjust to the officiating, and you can't let the officiating dictate things. You got to find a way to make plays to win. I don't care about the officiating. Yes, it may be questionable, but you got to find ways to win. You got to start first halves a lot better. That's what Michelle Leonard basically said in a press conference after the game. When you go read some Baylor articles by Sikkim365.com about the game, there was that quote. And same thing goes for BaylorBears.com. And correct what you did wrong last game and bring it to this game. And what you did well last game, bring it to this game. We just got to convert more chances. And I mean, we only had 2 goals in the last 4 games. I mean, that's telling the truth. And I don't want to overemphasize this by any stretch of the imagination. But to me, this is a must-win for Baylor. Houston is not that good in RPI, and they were projected to be one of the worst teams in the conference this year. Especially when you look at the current RPI which I'm trying to look that up right now. I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. As of right now, Houston is 88, but that's prior to last game. Granted. So I'm just telling the truth in all this, and shut down the best players and as much as possible take them away. I mean, that's the thing, and exploit their weaknesses. You need to be more on the offense and not on the defense. You got to make adjustments quicker throughout the game. I mean, you got to have some more offensive opportunities than Houston. Get some corner kicks. You got to execute that, and your like set pieces whenever it's like half midfield or further. You could try and get the ball down in the box or really close to the box, then like shooting range, or even like a good enough for a cross from the sideline. You don't want to be out physical. That's what happened against Arizona a little bit too. So you got to be careful because of the yellow card situation. You don't want to have like 2 yellows in the game on one player or red on. I mean, obviously you do not want a handball in the box or foul in the box, even if it's not a card, while you're on defense, because you know that means penalty kicks. And obviously if they call it on the other team, you just got to take advantage of it. I mean, you got to get some, got to have better passing in this game. You got to win the second ball. I mean, I'm trying to not make it super duper long here. It's just one of those things. You got to find a way to win this game. I don't care if it's ugly. You need to win this game, Baylor. Bad. This would really hurt your RPI if you don't win. This is a winnable game. I mean, you gotta have some players step up, and I do not know what happened to Marissa Gray, but she didn't play in the second half, I believe, or not much. After the first half, she was subbed. I don't know what's going on there, but if nothing else, we have other players that could step up. I mean, you don't want to turn the ball over in your own end. I mean, and then allow them to have more opportunities, potentially to score on you. I mean, that's the thing. You don't want that to happen. Make them turn the ball over on their own end or even in the midfield. That way you can get more offensive opportunities. Of course, you don't want to turn the ball over at the midfield either. But if you're going to try to turn the ball, if you're going to need to turn the ball over, it has to be in the scoring end where you're going to, and not midfield or even on your defending area. Oh no, of course, it'll be huge to get some saves, but I don't want to have to rely on getting so many saves in a game just to keep us in it. That's kind of what Michelle Leonard did say too, by the way. And you got to put last game behind us, and it's frustrating to not win a game. And Arizona was a good team, but the RPI it's going to hurt us a little bit. So at least it's not like we got creamed. I mean, the truth is, I know this is not related to this game or anything, but BYU got creamed by TCU 4-1. Even though TCU was RPI number 42 and BYU number 23. We're right there in both of those games in conference so far. We just got to find a way to finish. And I don't want, and that's the thing. And we got to have some players step up on the offense and get some shots up. And I like some of those shots that we had, though. It could be a little bit better looks, but I don't want to just pass the ball around so much up top that you can't score. And you got to be really good on set pieces defensively. And you got to clear that ball out as soon as possible in some of these games. I mean, in the game here, clear it out quicker than you did, because with so much pressure coming down on you, eventually the other team's going to score. That's what happened against Arizona. So just take all the frustration from the last few games and pour it on Houston. Leave no doubt. We do not need to mess around with Houston. I'm sorry, but Houston's not that good. We're better than Houston. You got to find a way to win this game and take advantage of more opportunities to score. And luckily, there are no more games that the opposing team wouldn't have the rest advantage until potentially Big 12 tournament. But in order to get Big 12 tournament, you got to start winning conference games. This needs to be one of them right here. Let's go to work and don't be intimidated by Houston. You guys stay composed. I mean, the last thing you want to do to a referee is gesture some motion and then talk. That means yellow card. I mean, still. I mean, Tyler Isrick needs to step up, and Ashley Merrill, which I actually talked to her brother last night. So I do appreciate him. I do. And I told him, like, I don't want to overemphasize like one player because it's a team game, and he totally gets it. Because look, in order to win games, you can't just have certain players step up. You gotta have everybody step up. That's my reasoning behind it, and that's why I don't want to overemphasize one player necessarily. Just go out there and score for a change. And I know you did score against Texas State, and it was tough to have that as a draw. And don't let one game beat you twice here. I mean, that's the thing. And Houston just played on Thursday, and it was at home. Now they're going to travel, and we're still in our own beds. And when you look at the film, you know what Houston needs weaknesses are and what their strengths are. Got to exploit the weaknesses, attack the strengths, and all this. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 7 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 or more to make money off this course. Like a video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithm. Some more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well. So more people could watch. And if you're watching and subscribe, hit subscribe buttons for notification bell as well. And you gotta have better passing, and whether it's like don't want to do too much on the pass and then let it go out of bounds. And if you're up late in the game, you gotta find a way to finish strong and time waste, if anything. And if you're like ahead by only by one goal, you gotta be smart about your time wasting and all this. So I'm just saying that as another emphasis too, because it is important to not allow the opponent to come back in it late in the game and all this. So you just got to be smart in those situations, and you got to find a way to win this game.